Good evening, and thank you all for coming to listen to my speech about Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison, who recently passed away, was one of the voices speaking for the Black experience, and her voice lives on in her novels. I hope that you will have a deeper understanding of Morrison's achievements and her impact on American culture by the end of this speech as we reflect over her life. There will be 3 topics. 1, Toni and her family dealt with hardship, but also joy in the Black experience. 2, Toni received many awards for her innovative and charged storytelling. 3, upon her death, critics exclaimed praise for Morrison's work and life. So just imagine growing up in a world where something as simple as the color of your skin meant things would be more difficult for you. And then imagine defying that. 1, Toni Morrison and her family dealt with both the hardships and joys of the Black experience. As explained in the introduction speech for Morrison's Nobel Prize by Professor Ster Allen, when she was very young, her family's landlord set fire to the house in which they lived when her parents fell behind with rent, and while they were in it. This fact alone depicts the racism that many Americans have faced. However, she lived a successful life despite that and chose to focus on the positives of her experience. A little bit about Toni. Toni is short for Chloe Anthony Wofford. She grew up in Lorain, Ohio, which was heavily integrated with several cultures, and this had an impact on her writing. Toni attended Howard University for her bachelor's and Cornell University for her master's. After graduation, she became an editor for Random House before deciding to write her first novel, The Bluest Eyes. She became an educator, author, and mother. However, she is best known as a novelist who wrote 11 novels, the most famous being Beloved. However, my favorite is The Song of Solomon. Her early years helped shape her into the woman who was able to make so many academic and social accomplishments. Toni received many awards due to her innovative and charged storytelling. Not only did Morrison win honorable awards such as the Nobel Prize, but she was also awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama. The list of awards she was presented goes on, but that is due to her skill as an author. Not only is her literary technique advanced and unique, but she also manages to deal with immense philosophical topics in her work. Beloved is her most praised work, and Mabel Callahay presents one of the questions Morrison asks in her article, Toni Morrison's Beloved, published in Special Topic, The Teaching of Literature. Morrison's fiction poses the question of whether the temporal logic of history and human experience can be separated from the natural phenomenon. As the statement implies, Toni Morrison often incorporates the supernatural or the impact of African American history into her works in a way that parallels nicely with present times. Her unique literary style is impressive, but she is also known for her efforts in social justice through her work and life. Upon her death, critics exclaimed praise for Toni Morrison's work. AP News recounts what Oprah said about Toni at the Manhattan Dinner Gala. It is impossible to actually imagine the American literary landscape without Toni Morrison. She is our conscience, she is our seer, she is our truth teller. What Oprah is speaking about here is Toni's ability to speak for and about the Black experience. Not only has Toni lived this life herself, but she has also used her experience to produce a deep-rooted understanding in her novels. Harriet Stapp explores this farther in an article for the Poetry Foundation titled, In Praise of Toni Morrison's Linguistic Dexterity. Morrison had a superfluity of gifts and, like few other writers of her era, bent language to her will. Her prose could be lush or raw and demonic, or carefree and eccentric, often on a single page. She filtered folklore, biblical rhythms, dreams, choral voices, and steep awareness of history into her work. Although Toni has her critics, she has received much praise by scholars, the media, and activists for her work. There has also been a documentary released about her life titled Toni Morrison, The Pieces I Am. Toni's work has become an important part of the American culture and the Black experience. Now that you know a little about her, it might be worth the time to pick up one of her 11 beloved novels. In summary, Toni Morrison has made literary and social accomplishments. She and her family dealt with hardships, but they also faced joys. She received many awards for her innovative and charged storytelling, and upon her death, critics praised her and her life. Toni Morrison has become a part of speaking for the Black experience in the United States.